with Ian, who is co-hosting this with me. I asked Ian to come on to the program to show everybody the ins and outs, examples, tutorials, beginners, advanced editing, all of the works of CapCut video editing. Tim talked about some of the apps this morning on the Tuesday night call, but here in Tuesday Night Tactics, we really like to dive deep. I want to make sure you guys get your money's worth for the training that you get, because I actually don't get anything for this training, but I want to make sure that you guys are educated. And honestly, I thank Ian for spending his night when he could be spending it with his family, but he's spending it with you and me. So very grateful. Ian.
So I think the first question I would like to ask everybody is, who here is already using CapCut? I don't see any faces, so
give me a 1 in the chat if you're already using CapCut. Give me a 2 if you are not using CapCut. You are not. I'm actually going to write in the chat 2 because I'm not using CapCut because I have a videographer that does everything for me, so I'm spoiled.
Yeah. Chris, what's up, man? So Chris is he's a star. He's silent, but he's a freaking star. He's a professional editor. So I think he's here to judge me. He edits for real in real programs. So that's okay. Good. So I talked about that. So we it's about half and half. So that's good. And then the second question is, how many of you prefer to work on a computer versus your phone?
1, if you like to work on your computer. 2, if your phone. So those of you on the audio version, a lot of people said they don't use CapCut, so which is good. That's why you're in the right place.
Okay, so Kristen, check this out. CapCut has a desktop app, and it has almost all of the same features, so it's pretty powerful.
Wow.
So you have the choice to do both. The layout's a little different, so I actually have both of them pulled up and sample videos that we can play with for both of them, just so we can kind of see how it goes. So which do you want to work on first? Do you want to pull up the...
Hold on. I want to give people context of the reason we're going over this.
Sure.
And Ian, you've progressed from not really doing too much on short form because you were doing a ton of YouTube. And then, your TikToks completely blew up. You pretty much had the audience captivated from your short form, and then you just continued, right?
What I had learned is that you can only spend so much time on focusing on one thing. And so I figured out the long form thing. The podcast worked really well. So that started bringing in enough business to where I didn't even have to think about business. And then I said, well, what other apps can I really build on? Because YouTube isn't fun to me. YouTube is educational to me. And so when I'm thinking about the fun, I'm thinking, okay, well, TikTok is fun. Instagram is fun, but Instagram is fun for older people. That's how I was looking at it, right? So how can I stay ahead by looking at the generation that's doing it better than myself? And so I spent a lot of time on TikTok looking at stuff, and then I just hopped on and started creating content. And a lot of this boils down to just the fundamentals of business, your cadence of speech, how quickly you're speaking. People want fast information. Their attention span sucks nowadays, right? So they want to get information as quickly as possible. So my job, in my mind, is if I'm going to switch from long form where people will listen to me talk like this and watch me actually type in calculations on the computer versus moving to something where it's like, here you go. There you go. You have to figure this out. The next thing you need to know. And they've got all the information they can absorb in less than a minute. So TikTok made a lot of sense for that. And then because I was focusing on those, I completely ignored Instagram. So about maybe 3 months ago, I started actually putting stuff on Instagram, and it's grown pretty substantially because I started paying attention to it. I went from nothing to, I only have 3,000, but I don't pay for anything either. And I get a good amount of business that comes from it. So now I'm monetized on every platform except for Instagram, and I'm working on that.
Okay, so you basically, and the message I'm trying to get across is that you didn't just do everything at once.
Correct.
Right. And in my old police days, we used to say, you know, like you walk into a shitty situation where everything's going wrong. It's like eating a shit sandwich. Do you know how to eat a shit sandwich for those of you in first responder military world? You eat it with one bite at a time. So if video is your shit sandwich, then you just got to take one bite at a time. So with Ian, it was long form. And eventually, once he felt really comfortable with long form, gained an audience, he stepped it up with short form, completely killed it on TikTok, and then started using these apps to kind of edit on the go, right? Are you the only one that does the editing for your short form?
Yeah, I do it all. I do it all mostly by myself. Sometimes if I have a collaborator, they might hold the phone for me, but generally it's just me and the tripod.
Okay. So then I just want to make sure we are diving deep. Questions, drop them in the chat. So when did you start seeing success in DMs of like the video you were producing on TikTok and short form? Like walk me through when you actually saw business from it.
So I guess I was lucky in that when I was creating my first TikTok videos, it was a style that no one was doing, no one was duplicating. And so those started to take off rapidly right away. So my first handful of videos were 100,000, 200,000, a million. And I was like, okay, well, this works. And then consecutively after that, it was like 25,000, 20,000, 18,000 views. And so almost immediately I ended up with a $2 million referral lead, and the person bought the house they saw on TikTok.
Love it. So once you started getting business from it and really growing an audience, now, is it fair to say, I'm kind of putting words in your mouth, but I think you'll agree with me. Isn't it fair to say that doesn't matter if you get 1 million views or 100 views, you can still get business from short form?
You can get business on one view. If the view is for the right person and that person happens to be an investor, they like what you did, how you market, and they say, you know what, I've got 5 other properties. Can you help me sell them? I like what you did. Yeah. It's just talking to the right audience, catching the right person's attention. And right now I kind of use it. They talked about it a little bit this morning, but I love that you can use short form video as a very clean profile. What do you call it? Not profile, portfolio, right? It's almost a resume. It's like, hey, look at this. Now, do you question my marketing? No, I've got, what is it? Almost 30,000 on TikTok or so. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I can show them a number or show them videos. It's not even a number. Show them that I've completed work. It's like a degree for real estate almost. It's like, oh yeah, I've sold these houses and I've got listing videos to prove it. You want one? Here you go. I can do this for your house. Done. It's like that works out very, very well in conversation.
So I know I'm building up this video editing in short form a lot, but I really want to stress the importance of actually implementing what Ian's about to teach you guys. And even me, I'm going to implement this as well, because it not only just boosts your resume, listing appointments, why work with me as a buyer's agent. It does so much because you're telling the world what your value proposition is. And to me, best way to do it is through short form. So before we get into the tutorials, I'm going to show Ian's some of his work, and some of his work was with me. I love it. And here we go. Let's see. Okay, so here's your IG.
This is TikTok. That's funny.
And yeah, so here's your IG, just to show you a few. And you've been doing more collaborations with agents, right?
That is a whole strategy that I've been focusing on in 2023. I feel like we are at a brokerage where we talk about working hard and being kind. And I want to do like a collaboration is literally both materialized.
Smash. Pass. 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 Smash.
Incredible. And then this one. Favorite.
drown off this way, doing all these shows. I've been on the road, I don't care where I go, as long as I get paid. Bad little vibe, she been on my mind. Soon as I get back, she get straight. Do this all the time, this ain't no surprise. Every other night, another movie get jumped.
And I gotta do one more. This one was a good one.
If you be the cash, I'll be the rubber band. Okay. If you be the cash, I'll be the rubber band. If you be the cash, I'll be the rubber band. Okay. If you be the cash, I'll be the rubber band.
Love it. All right, one more.
Can you spell the one I did with Rachel?
This one?
No, keep going. That one was fun too, but keep going. Well, yeah, keep going. Keep going. So to the left of the pink shirt.
This?
Yeah.
Oh, this was a good one.
Share this with a friend.
What's going down, y'all? You know the deal. When words come, the words come, the words my people come first. Words come, the words come, the words my people come first. Y'all, some people got good friends. At night I live my life right, intense. On the edge, on the wire. I'm from the group where friction leads to fire. Stack your bricks, the time is take your pick. Do it, don't, the track, out the mix. Yo, my life is good. I got my peeps in the mix, so. Words come, the words my peoples come first. I got worldwide family all over the earth. And I worry about them all for whatever it's worth. From the birth to the hearse, through streets the guns burst. Words I disperse are here to free minds. Yeah. And if mine are needy.
So a couple of things you're seeing. I just gotta show you one more. Haley is on the now, but we did one for Haley, and it's so good. Here we go. Check this one out.
Drop it.
Bam. If you didn't see that one, that one's a killer. Okay, so there was a lot going on in those videos, right? And I don't know. My mind is blown just about the creativity that Ian has and just the direction he's going. So now walk me through what you're doing in CapCut to get those results.
What? Okay. So I think the first thing is, what is your idea? That's almost always the thing. So for any video, any conversation you're about to have, you want to start with what idea is going to garner attention. And you saw it, we did it last week. We showed up and we just kind of randomly said, okay, what can we do with this place? And it worked out really well. So I think that's step one. What is an idea? So does anybody have an idea or has seen something on video that they thought, man, I wish I could redo that, or something that they want to try to talk through? Or do you want me to just go through and show one?
I think you should just show one, and then we'll get to their questions.
Got it. All right, let me do the phone one. So I'm going to share iPhone, gross, share sound, share sound. All right. And it should be sharing. Okay, so it's sharing. All right. So the first thing, obviously, the CapCut app. So I've got a few apps that I play with, but CapCut is the one. I wonder if it shows on the screen when I click it. Kind of. I'm just going to kind of talk through the app for the people that haven't used it before. You have a camera that you can use right away. So if you just want to use your camera, you can talk in it directly. That's not really a problem. Instead of using Instagram or TikTok or just your phone's camera, you can do it directly in the app. What I prefer doing is just using my regular camera in the iPhone for a number of reasons. It depends on the type of video, though. Mostly, the quality is really high on your phone. So if you have a current gen or even the last couple of generation iPhone or Android phones, you probably have 60 frames per second and all this really cool stuff. So that's great. Captions I thought was really cool because, so I'm going to use this as an example. I can take any video And I don't even have to do anything. I can just hit start. It'll adjust. And then if you notice down at the bottom here, the brown, it's putting the captions in automatically. And I didn't have to do a thing, right? So now I can take this, move it around how I want, angle it, all that sort of stuff, change the style, the color, the font, all that of the captions, if I so desire. Okay, so if I play it.
I like your plan, except it sucks, so let me do the plan, and that way it might be really good. Yes.
But notice, it has the captions in there. I didn't have to do anything. I just pressed the button. Kind of cool. And you can even do batch edit if you see it at the bottom left-hand corner. So I can take 15 videos, upload them. It'll auto caption everything for me. Zero work.
Incredible.
Before you do that, though, go ahead.
Once you change the captions, like if you just change the one on the left, it changes all of them the same style, right? You don't have to change each one.
Yeah, it just changed everything. And so a lot of times you'll see in the app, it'll say, do you want to apply this to one thing or do you want to apply it to all things? And so I didn't have to do that, but generally I usually have to press apply to all. So what it would be is if I did, let's say I changed the color a little bit, you know, I made it grainy or something, I can hit apply to all and it'll make it for every clip that I put in. It'll make it all grainy.
Awesome.
So while this is a really cool feature, I don't know if you've heard this, but a lot of the apps prefer that you use the features in the apps. And I'm going to bring this up a couple times as we're going through this. So an example is captions. Instagram doesn't want you to use captions in CapCut. They want you to use Instagram captions. The thing is, some people that already have like a ridiculous audience, they can do whatever they want. It doesn't matter. But for anyone who doesn't or isn't considered a a macro influencer, then they'll need to. It would make more sense to put the captions in Instagram itself. So, also while we're in this screen on CapCut, you saw in the middle, there's a play button. Just to the right, there's something called keyframes, which is very advanced. We'll get into that later. And then to the right of that, you'll see it looks like a left-facing U. That is undo. So let's see if I can show it on here. I can't show it on here. I wish it showed my screens. Can't. So there's an undo and a redo button if I make a mistake. So that's really good. And then all the way to the right here is expand. So in the middle, on the far right, the bar in the middle, it says, it looks like two arrows facing out and inside of a square box. So that'll let you expand. The last things I'm going to talk about is up at the top. You'll see me change resolution. I can go to 4K video. I can increase my frame rate. I can even create a GIF, if I wanted to. So whenever I'm done with a video, I click this little up arrow in the top right-hand corner, and it lets me export my video, and then I can send it to anywhere. So here's the thing. If I wanted and I had a videographer, I could upload it to the cloud and have the videographer put it on all the apps for me. I could do that. I just found that when it comes to things like choosing the music, the hashtags, all that sort of stuff, right now I have a virtual assistant who's incredibly gifted at video, except the context doesn't translate because we're in a different country, different time zone, different culture. It just doesn't work. I love him to death, but God, it does not work. It's like, no, it's not funny.
That's not funny.
So that's the kind of stuff that unless you know how to do it, it's really hard to hire a videographer. And I'm going to ask that to anybody who currently has one. Trey, so you have a videographer. How easy is it to get your videographer to do what it is you're trying to accomplish?
I mean, it is very hard just because, like, you want to come across authentic, but then you want to save time. And Ramsey just said in the chat, CapCut has desktop app too, FYI. Yes, Ramsey, we went over that earlier. You get -5 on the end of the day quiz. So just so you know.
-5, man. Yeah, I have the desktop app pulled up too, just in case people want to see the difference. It does look different, operates very similarly. So I just wanted to show that. I think that's a really cool example. So that's the captions app. retouch in the middle is for when you just do a talking head video, but you want to act like you've put on makeup or your face is a different size than it normally. All of that can be done in the retouch app. You can make yourself look like anybody almost. It's kind of scary. It's like AI driven. Prompter. This one, if you haven't used this one, people, you're going to be super happy. Check this out. I can type in or copy and paste anything that I want. Let me flip it around, gosh, because that actually, let me just do this. Let me just do this thing right here. Okay, so if it's in the middle, far right, it looks like a hexagon. And if I press that, it starts scrolling. So I can read a script. I can read a script and look at the phone camera. And if my eyes aren't moving too much, I won't forget what I'm trying to say. I can edit the script in here, just copy and paste. You get up to 5,000 words. So a lot of people, they ask me, they say, okay, well, what if I forget what I want to say? Or how do I remember every point that I want to touch? This is a great way to do it. Except our technology is so good that we have this stuff called high resolution, and people can tell when your eyes are moving, right? So you gotta be careful when you use this stuff. Yeah.
Hey, it's better than nothing.
It is better than nothing. It still gets it done, right?
It's curbing all of the objections that why people don't do video. So there's literally going to be no excuses.
No excuses. All right. So I flipped it around, and yeah, so I can say, hit record. Hi, I'm a CapCut teleprompter, and I can help you remember all your lines. This feature supports editing text and supports adjusting speed of the lines, font size, and font color. So I just went through the first couple paragraphs, and now I've got a video where I think it looks like I am, let's see. I don't know why you can't hear the sound. I don't think you can hear it in there, but does it look like I'm looking at the camera is the real question.
I don't think you are, just because you're also blinking, you're moving your head and your hands. So it's engaging enough that I can't tell.
Also, okay, this is more advanced stuff, but TikTok and Instagram like when there's motion, especially in the background. So if I'm moving around while I'm talking, people they can only concentrate on one thing at a time, really. And so if I'm moving around, the algorithm likes it, but also it's less likely that they can see my eyes reading. So even though it might look like you're, I don't know, a little jittery, like you've had too much coffee, it's actually a benefit for the app and for people because their attention spans are so low.
I can't stop staring at your pretty teeth.
You're ridiculous. Thank you. Retouch teleprompter, and then you can expand. There's an ad maker. I've never used it. And auto cut. Auto cut is interesting because let's say you have a long video and you know that there's some good clips in there, but you don't feel like doing the work. And you also have good music. You can upload the music, upload the video, and it'll automatically try to make it seem fun. It'll just kind of create a video for you. No work. All AI driven.
Incredible.
It's pretty sweet. New project is self-explanatory. In the middle here, you see how it says try it out. This is any new feature that comes to the app. It's explaining to you how to use it. So you have built-in tutorials in this. So if you want, you can just spend a lot of time learning how to do that. Last couple things, you can do cloud or local. Let's see. Yeah. So you can save stuff to online or you can save it on your phone. That's really important if you're ever in video editing, because you'll find out that if you ever change phones or lose it in the water or anything like that, it can be bad news. At the bottom, I'm going to jump to the bottom before I start showing editing. At the bottom, you have your basic edit, which is the scissors. You have something called template, which is huge. Templates are already done for you. So I'm going to use this first template that shows up with the guy from Stranger Things, Mike meme. So I click on it. It shows a video. I like that. Okay, so let me use that. So I'm going to use template. It has, look at the bottom. It has you choose 2 clips. So that just means 2 videos. And you see the number, that's how much time it's taking, right? So 4.7 seconds and 2.4 seconds. So it'll automatically take that much time out of that video and switch it for you. So an example would be if I go, let's say here, that's clip 1. And then let's say this is clip 2.
And he's clicking the videos that's already in his album.
Yes, thank you. I chose videos that were in my album. And I just hit preview. And if I'm going too fast or not saying enough or being boring or something, let me know and I'll change it up. Already done. So I didn't have to do any work. I just chose 2 pictures. And how would I say this? Obviously, the intent is important when you're using a template like that. So this one was a beauty one, right? So when I see, go ahead.
No, so go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is when I see something like this, I watch the intent and it's like an ugly face, not ugly, but you know, her natural face, not ugly, but like unfiltered. There you go. That's the word. Her regular face, her normal face, and then her maked up face. So then I think, how can I use this? I could use this for me. I could do a backflip. It sounds silly, but I could have it where I'm on the outside of the house, switch to the inside of the house. It's super straightforward once you have the intent for the video.
Or if they're doing a rehab on a house, it could be the before and after
inside
picture.
And out. Beautiful. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. So that's templates. Tutorial has a tutorial for almost every single thing. A lot of stuff. Pant rack trick. So I looked through a lot of this stuff. Instead of, most people are watching content all the time. I watch tutorials because I'm a nerd. And I like to learn how to do this stuff. I forget what the inbox. Yeah, and I don't have any followers on CapCut. So cool. We good? Makes sense?
Good.
Jump into an actual edit.
Yep.
So people like this one, I think. So I'll start with this thing. So I'm in an actual edit. So for people who are familiar with editing on any app, I guess, do I have to explain timelines and clips and that sort of stuff I guess drop a 1 in the chat if you'd like me to go over that kind of stuff, or if you want me to jump into the effects.
2 if you want to do effects and overlays. 1 if you want to go a little bit detailed. We have 26 minutes.
Yeah.
2, cut to the meat.
All right. So everybody, it seems like you already know how the timeline works. There are a couple things. So I usually take a bunch of clips when I'm doing almost any video, right? I think I heard someone say today, wasn't Heather, it doesn't matter. They said they do 3 takes. It was Shannon Mangan. She says she does 3 takes. I will do as many takes as it needs to get it done, but I'll do a few of them just so I know that I don't have to come back and think about it again. So in my clips, so I'm going to use this as an example. I tap on the clip, and then this is actually the whole clip. So when I play it,
I think I'm losing my mind.
all right. So what I did here is a couple things. On the clip itself, you can see that it's 3 seconds long. You can see that number. You can see that the speed is 4x. So that 4x speed means it's moving 4 times faster. See how I'm walking really fast? That's how I get that effect. So if I click on any clip down at the bottom, I have all these crazy options. These are the options that allow me to have fun with the app. So speed is a great one. I click on speed. In this case, I'll click on normal. And I knew to choose 4, but I can drop it to 1. So the regular video was this. I was walking super slow.
I think
Took
I'm
forever.
losing my mind.
Didn't want to deal with it.
Trying to stay inside the lines.
And so instead, I sped it up because people do not care about me. They care about the house. And so this gave me a chance to show the walking, and also help the timing with the music. Another thing that I had in there were keyframes. I don't know if you saw it zoom in and zoom out. Did you happen to see that? So I'm going to show an example. So a keyframe is to the right of the play button. So it's right here. Once I press that keyframe, this is advanced, right? Once I press that keyframe, anything that I do will only happen in that part of the clip. So I'm going to give you an example. I put one there so you can see it in pink. It's that diamond shape. I'm going to do another one here so you can see it in pink. All right. I'm going to remove this one. So now there's two keyframes, keyframe here, keyframe here. So I'm going to go to this one at the end. Watch this. And I'm going to zoom in. I just do a pinch to zoom. Come on. So I can move it around. I can zoom in, all that sort of stuff, right? So now when I go back and I hit play, it remembers what I asked it to do. And so it did that because I saved that request, if you will. That's what the keyframe does. Does that make sense? Is that too much, too little?
No, so play it through so they could see.
Right.
I think I'm losing my mind.
Oh, so I didn't have the whole video, but let me show you the whole video. So here's the whole video.
I think I'm losing my mind. Trying to stay inside the lines. It's like you're running in place.
So what I did in that whole video is seriously, so 4 clips. And this one I sped up. I just sped it all up. It's really it. I sped it all up, and then I did keyframes in this section. And so that's what gives me the zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. So watch it again. Just that first clip. Because that activity is more interesting than what I was going to do, which is just a regular flip. It doesn't matter what I was doing. So when we did our collab, that's why I added the lightning. Because flipping light switches, that's cool. But lightning's freaking awesome. People like lightning. So I added the lightning in. It just made more sense.
So go over the transitions, because I see 2 different transitions that you have there.
Yes. So this was just the keyframe, and then here's the transition. Okay. Do you see the sideways hourglass? Can you see that?
Yep.
I only put that in because I thought it made it more interesting again. If I take it out, here's what it looks like.
Think I'm losing my mind.
So still looks fine. But if you notice what I added, so I'm going to click on that little section. These are all my, right away, it gives me these transition options. And I thought, so like this one, this drop down, you see how it's dropping down like that? I thought that would match the activity because I'm landing. So I said, let me see what that looks like. So I'll click on this drop down. That's too long. So I'm going to make it a little shorter. Looks pretty good, right? So I'm going to save it with the checkbox. Now let's watch that section again.
I'm losing my mind.
So it just added that extra element. Everything, it's, what is it? The devil's in the details. People need, they don't realize the details, but the details are what engage them in the video. We're good?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. So the original clip, if I remove that, I'm removing that. I'm not worried about the keyframes so much. I'm just going to show you. I can click on the clip and I can drag and make it longer. Actually, it doesn't want me to do that. I think I cut it already. See? So the original clip was just me doing a backflip. So what I did is I made it shorter until I was right here. And then it switched to the next, well, I'll delete this. And then it switches to the next person. So real quick, backflip, switch. So this clip was longer, and I'll show you this clip. This clip was her going like this. And I told her to pose so like she was going to hold the phone and then pretend to land in a jump. So I liked the way that looked, and I said, I can work with that. And then I just shortened this second clip to make it look like that was actually me landing, or her landing from my clip. There you go. So now watch it again. Clip, boom. So I just uploaded 2 long clips, and then I shortened them to make sure that the transition worked. And then I added effects on top of it. This part, I just sped it up a lot. And then the other part that's really important is the music. So notice every transition video that I do, the music aligns. Super important, right? So to make the music align, down here at the bottom, this is the track file, and this is called a waveform. So I can see where the music gets loud. And so I line up the clip, the transition for the clip, with the part where it gets loud. So if you look in this one, it gets loud right here. You can see that on the screen, how the volume spikes. Are you with me on this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the volume spikes. So I want that to be timed with the switch from her to me. So now, in order to do that, I'm going to move this layer. Come on. To match that. There it is. See? So now if I listen to it,
I'm losing my mind.
I think it was actually this one.
Yeah, it still landed. Yeah, but we get the
gist of it?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Right.
All right.
And I feel like, you know, a lot of agents don't understand the importance of the audio and picking a song. So like even as simple as your Instagram story, if you guys are showing a property and, you know, you start to pick sounds, start picking up on like, because you're able to pick even in your Instagram story, what part of the track you want to use, and start thinking of like, okay, well, I slowed down here in the kitchen, but then I kind of walked a little fast to the living room. So as soon as I slow down in the kitchen, let me pick a sound that just where it's like, you know, it's like a cadence with the music. And it's a kind of a good skill to continue to practice, not just the video editing.
So hopefully this is a nugget that'll blow your mind too. Hopefully. Well, I guess the question is, is it easy for everybody to find music when they're trying to? Yeah, easy enough.
Let's see, Sherry just asked you go for the trending music. John said yes.
So the trending music, I would say that I usually look trending music if I'm just doing a backflip or if I'm just doing an easy transition. Otherwise, I look for something that matches the message. So, and then, yeah, trending music that has a beat that I try to stick to stuff that doesn't swear. I'll like look for the non-explicit version of songs because I'm a nerd. That kind of stuff. I like that. Sometimes you can't do it though. So, yeah, so I look for the trending music. So where I was going to go with that is, I mentioned it earlier today. I'll go into Instagram. So who's this guy? No music.
It's my boy from New York.
I don't know why the sound isn't coming over, but what I was going to say is this. So if I hear something that I like, Watch my screen. So if I hear something, is it still playing? Come on, iPhone. Ah. For those of you that don't know, I'm not really a fan of iPhones. It's not even, look, it's frozen. The heck?
I think you have to unshare your screen
Oh, God.
and then share it, but make sure you share audio. It's a Zoom thing.
No, I have audio, the sound shared.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. Come on, I'm not a novice.
Let's see. Any questions? George Martinez just has his mind blown emoji.
Good. Okay, so I'm watching this video from the Calvary group.
Mm-hmm.
Bronx,
What?
how much do you think it would cost to have this view?
Kind of like that, right?
Bronx,
What?
Okay, so watch this. Pull down on my screen, record. Oh, I can't do it because of screenplay, but I'll hit the record app, bottom left-hand corner, and I'll snake the heck out of this audio. But the reason why, where did everybody go? I lost all your faces. But the reason why I'll do that is because when I'm in Instagram, it knows to link it to that person. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, so if I steal your audio and then I go and upload
By
a reel-
screen recording?
Yeah, by screen recording, then I'll go into CapCut and I will literally extract or look for extracted audio. I think this is an example of one. And yeah, this is a screen recording that I was using for a reel, and I just add it. And so now that's my song in the reel. The reason why is because trying to time it in Instagram is a pain.
Yeah, it is.
So I just don't time it in Instagram. I just do it outside of the app. But I can always tag you, and also Instagram will eventually pick up that it's your audio.
Interesting. I had no idea you could do that. My mind is blown. Let me type the mind blown emoji.
Good. Yeah.
Hey, Ian, can I ask you a question?
Please, yeah. I'm sick of talking. I'm not sick of talking. But...
So I just downloaded the CapCut. They have at the bottom where you take pictures. They have the one shot and they have multi clips. What do you use that multi clips for?
So great question. I will show you an example of multi clips. I think this is one. Yeah. Come on, you're killing me. Well, since it's not in here, I will pull it up in Instagram, show you an example.
Oh, you just piece them together then, I guess?
Yeah. So so weird. I take a bunch of the clips and I just piece them together. So each one of these scenes is a new clip.
Got it.
And it gives me time to pause, reassess, and think about what it is I'm trying to show. And then when I go through a house and I've done all the clips, I can just hit upload, and they're all in order, and I'm ready to go. And then I really just, after that, I just trim them a little bit.
Nice.
I don't have to do any more work with it.
That's cool. Thank you.
What other questions? All right, so I'm going to switch to the desktop app so you can see that. Hopefully.
Derek, Rockstar Stuff. There, Ian. I see why you and Trey are going to Real Estate Video Blueprint. I got in because of Ian.
You're right. I said I'm only going if Trey's there.
We're besties.
All right, so this is the desktop app for CapCut. And so as you see here, you can drag and drop. Everything shows up down at the bottom. And so I guess I'll just do that. Let me find I had a file. So I'm taking two clips and I'm just going to drag them over. So clip 1 shows up, it's uploading, and clip 2 is uploading. So I just grabbed them from my desktop and slid it over into here. Might take a minute, but yeah. What were you going to say?
No, I was going to ask how somebody would do like the 2-person split thing, or like keyframing the person and then changing the backdrop to something else.
Okay. I'll do backdrop. So hopefully this loads a little faster. It doesn't seem like it wants to, but you can go into effects here, and it has all sorts of options. I haven't used the desktop, so like the lightning's in here, comic book, fun stuff. TV lines, halo blur. I used this one in one recently. So that's fun. Another thing that you can do is, it doesn't look like it's showing in here, but you have an option to do green screen. So I can remove the background of everything like you do in Instagram. So CapCut has that same feature. So I've done videos where like I'll do a backflip, but then I'll remove the background. And so I could be anywhere. I could be on a lamppost if I wanted to, doing a backflip. Yeah. Does that make some sense?
Hey, as long as you're on that green screen, does anybody know of a green screen that you can put like on a Zoom that has like the real logo on there type of thing? How would
Yeah,
you
they
go
have
about
that in Marketplace.
Do they?
Yeah, it's like a Zoom
Cool.
background. Yeah,
All right, thank you.
no
Yeah,
problem.
you can also just make your own. If you make something cool in Canva, you can upload that as a personal Zoom option.
Yeah, that'll take me a year and a half.
Not that bad.
No worries. Any other questions for Ian? Ian is a CapCut ninja.
Hey,
There it
Ian,
is.
do you have
Yeah,
it
what's up?
linked to your TikTok or?
I do, but it doesn't really, I don't think
Matter.
there's any major benefit
Okay.
for it. But yeah, it's owned by the same company, ByteDance. So that's why so TikTok rose to prominence with short form because it was the first good app after Vine that allowed you to do some advanced editing features easily on mobile, and still have it as part of the social media platform. And then they said, well, why don't we just turn this into an editing app, a standalone editing app, not call it TikTok because nobody will know. Because, there's all these people that are like, oh, well, I'm not going to get on TikTok because China or whatever, right? Well, if they're on CapCut, they have no idea that it's the same thing.
And
actually,
the editing, it is very, very similar to editing
same.
inside. Yeah, it's like exactly the same. So if you learn CapCut, you can literally do the same thing within the TikTok app. Like I've made full listing videos only on the TikTok app without anything outside of it. I mean, like overlays and changes, everything. So it's 2 birds, 1 stone.
Also, I think because it's an editor, the age requirement's different, right? Might be no age requirement because it's not a social app. Might be, I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But also you have, I forgot where I was going with that. So anyway, filters. Let's look at filters. So filters are really cool because you can make it look like anything. You can make it look like a TV show, right? So up at the top, you have live, food, movies. So a lot of times I'll go to movies in high saturation and it'll make whatever I'm recording look really, really good.
Show us with a clip.
It's loading. It's at 99%. I've been trying to show you, man.
Man,
I know. Silly internet.
must be that Austin Wi-Fi.
You're right. I have a gig down. Better. All right, good. So there we go. Normal video. I'm going to go to filters and let's say high saturation. Add. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, I didn't even drag the media to the timeline. See, that's funny. Okay, so I got to drag it. There we go. Now it's on my timeline. Now we're good. So the other thing, you see this high saturation filter? I can choose where it shows up. It doesn't have to be the whole video. So I'm actually going to stop. I'm going to do it here so you can see the difference. That doesn't look very different, does it? It's supposed to. On the phone, it looks very different.
Maybe it's just a lag.
It's possible. Yeah, or maybe it's not a live edit. That would be really silly. Yeah, I'm going to call it the lag. But so what would happen is as soon as it hit this spot, it would look like a very highly saturated image, which is what a lot of movies look like. Cool. You can do stickers. You can do all that sort of stuff. I want to put 5 stars. I don't know why anybody would do that. But you can.
And the thing is, for those of you watching that are like, I don't know where the hell to start. If you just start somewhere where you're, even if you did like, I see the stars and I think of like a client review, you put those stars there, at least you're getting in the cadence of using it and introducing it to your business. I think that was the whole purpose here.
It's almost done. So I just wanted to show you show a full transition just with 2 clips. So backflip straight into the thing. So while I'm here, I'll just get rid of the star. Where's my delete in here? Probably just press delete. I'm just going to press delete. Hope it works. Delete. There it is. I'm going to delete the high saturation. So I've got clip number 1. So remember I told you I go to where I'm just about landing, where I'm still in a rotation. So like here, right here, and I'll end it there. Right. I'll probably come right here. And then I want it to be fast up until this point. So what I'll do is this is a split. So I'll split it there. Hit OK. And then this piece, I'll just make faster. So how do I make it faster? Speed. There we go. 3.3. Great. I'll move them together. There we go. So now I've got 2 pieces. So let's watch it. Perfect. So it's 2 clips. So one is a fast clip and the other one is just the slow, regular speed backflip.
Damn, dude. I know a lot of people ask me, what editing software do you use? I mean, I'm sure, Ian, you get that question a bunch. And this is all you need. And it's so much easier to learn.
And it's online. So look,
oh my God, it's so much easier.
I had him act like he was landing, right? So right there. So I'm going to go, I think I'm going to make it that short. Boom. And now let's do it again. Put some music, call it done.
Movie magic.
So I'm still doing the backflip. I just, anybody can land it.
And then you make the beat drop right where the transition happens. And there is your viral video, ladies and gentlemen.
Done.
There
Incredible.
you go. Nice work.
Ian, you are incredible, bro. Thank you so much for spending your Tuesday with us and showing us all the ins and outs of CapCut. This is really good. So tag your friends and people that in your areas who are at Real on Workplace on this video, just to show them the goodness that Ian shared with us.
Better yet, send a land like you're landing in a backflip, and I'll make a collab where I'm doing the backflip and then you'll land in it and then you can share it. And then we're all in videos together.
Incredible.
Nice.
Let's do it. Well, team, 9:00. See you next Tuesday.
Peace out, boys and girls.
Bye.
Thanks for joining.